Hello, I'm Tim Shoebridge. Welcome to this video. The title is a little bit obscure, I have to say. This is going to be a sort of a bit of a soapbox kind of video where I get on my soapbox and talk about a topic, and that topic is justification. But there's also going to be some music in this video as well. I've had a few days off over Christmas and had the opportunity to write a little bit of music for myself for a change. So that's what I'm going to be playing to you if you want to hear it a little bit later on in the video. We'll come back to the topic of justification in a minute. Let's just take a little look at the song I've written in Cubase. I'll show it to you right now. Here it is. And you'll see here that there's an awful lot of these little sort of like audio clips. They're little sequences, and this is something I like to do a lot when it comes to sort of building out tracks, whatever the tracks might be. Now these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks, they're all monosynth little sequences, and the synthesizer that I use to create those monosynth sequences is the one right behind me here. It is the GRP A4. We'll talk about that in a second. There are 3 other instruments that I've used in this particular song. You'll see here these red bits. These are drum tracks basically, and I'm using a piece of software which is ancient now. It's by Spectrasonics. Is it going to appear for me? There it is. It's called Stylus RMX. I use it an awful lot. I really do love this piece of software. It is old, as I say. I'm thinking maybe I should do a video about it and do a bit of a walkthrough of it, what it does, what it's capable of, and how I use it. If you think that's a good idea, if you're interested in that kind of topic, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if there's enough interest, I'll do a video about it. So that is Stylus RMX, and that's my little drum track that I've got going on there. Now below that drum track there are 1, 2, 3 sort of classic kind of polysynth sounds, and I'm using the Wave 2 from Nord here for those polysynth sounds. I did a video about the Nord Wave 2 a little while ago, and I think it came across a bit too negative. I'm actually not negative about this instrument at all. I do think it's a very, very good instrument. All I was trying to say in that video was, well, for me, why do I not use it enough? And I don't use it enough because I do have other synthesizers around me to fulfill those different roles of playing basses and samples and that kind of thing. So that's why I don't use it enough. But I've been trying to use it a bit more lately, as you might have seen from my videos, and it is the Wave 2 that features in this particular song that I've written here. Just some classic kind of 80s kind of chords basically. There's some strings in there, and there's some sort of like chord stabs. I love the sound of a Yamaha CP80 electric grand piano. It's kind of my youth and my teenage years in the 80s. You know, bands like Genesis and Peter Gabriel and Simple Minds, that kind of sort of like big sort of punchy chords. That's what I've got going on here, and I'm using the Wave 2 for that. So that's the 3rd instrument. The 4th instrument is these sort of like little bits of yellow MIDI that we've got down the bottom here, and this is because this particular song I've got some vocals going on in it, and adding vocals to songs is something I'm trying to get into, and I'm trying to find software solutions to adding vocals. And what I'm using here is a piece of software. It's called EM Voice. Let me just jump in and show you the editor for it. And I'm really liking it actually, EM Voice. Now I've bought a few of the, in fact I've bought all of the different sort of characters, the different voices that you can get with EM Voice. What I love about EM Voice is that it is still being developed, it's still being worked on, it's still being made better and better and better, and they are adding more voices to it. Unlike, say, Yamaha's Vocaloid software, which is kind of dead in the water these days, isn't it? Now they just had their sort of like their winter sale, and they had their Black Friday sale, and their latest voice, which is a female voice called Keela. That was on special offer, and I bought it, and I'm really, really glad that I bought it. It's a very strong voice. It's a very natural voice. I like it, and I've used that voice a lot in this particular song. So, well, when I say a lot, there's not much singing going on, but when I have got singing, it is Keela that I'm using. What I like about this particular character, this particular voice, is that it goes quite low in the sort of like in the scale. I don't know the technical term for that in terms of singing, But when she sings a low down, it's quite a soft and gentle sound, and then as she rises up the registers and gets into sort of the main area where she's more comfortable singing, that's when you get some real power and grit and stuff like that. So you might hear a little bit of that going on in this particular song. Again, if you're interested in EM voice, if you'd like me to do a video about it, walk you through how it works, what you can do with it, and how I've been trying to use it in my songs, then please leave a comment below, and if there's enough interest, I'll do a video about EM voice as well. But I'm really enjoying using it, and I'd like to produce songs of my own that do have vocals in them. And you know, I'm not confident about getting a vocalist, a professional vocalist involved to sing my parts yet. So having a sort of synthesized voice like this is a real good way of kind of prototyping a song and seeing if it actually works. So that's EM voice. That's the fourth instrument. So where does this Justification title come in with this video? I mean, what I'm really seeing with my videos in terms of the comments, and I love all the comments that I get. It's overwhelmingly very, very positive, and I love all of the sort of the positive comments that you give me and the encouragement you give me. I think that's really fantastic. I really look forward to that. And yes, there are negative comments, and that's fair enough. It is the internet after all, and we're all human beings. But there are some comments that I notice more and more in my videos. And it's still it's a very, very small minority of people. I don't think these people are trolling at all. But I get comments along the lines of, well, you didn't have to use that synthesizer for those sounds. You could have used any synthesizer for those sounds. I got them specifically on the sort of the modular piece of music that I put together. I got comments along the lines of, well, you didn't need to use modular for that. You could have used anything. You could have used a VST plugin. And absolutely, I could. You know, I don't use all the capabilities of the instruments that I own. The GRP A4. Now, when you hear the little sequences that I'm playing in this song, they could have been played on any analog or digital synthesizer. There's nothing special about them. I'm not sort of like trying to sort of like use every single sort of circuit and capability of the A4 and try and come up with the most complex, weird and wonderful sound I can, because I'm not going to make decent music out of sounds like that. I use, you know, like maybe 20% of the capabilities of this synth with the sounds that I came up with, but that's okay for me. I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong in that. And this whole sort of like idea that you have to kind of justify using and owning a piece of gear by the music and the sounds that you create from it, I find that a little bit weird, to be honest with you. I'm not quite understanding where that comes from, and I don't think it's trolling. I think that people really do expect that maybe it's just a YouTube thing, but they expect that when anyone sort of like plays an instrument that they are really trying to sell it to you. I'm not actually trying to sell you anything. I'm just using the gear that I've got. Now, I've been in kind of the sort of like the arts, if you like, all my life, both as a hobby and professionally as well on occasions. I've been a photographer, videographer, musician, songwriter and composer all throughout my life. And, you know, inspiration, or having inspiration and just actually sort of like getting on with it and trying it is the most important thing. It doesn't matter what instruments you have or how you use them. If you don't have the inspiration to pick up a camera and shoot pictures with it, then you might as well not be a photographer. If you have a synthesizer or a keyboard and you don't have the inspiration to sit down at it and play it or tweak the controls and make sounds with it, then you might as well not have them at all. And for me, having instruments like keyboards and synthesizers is inspiration for me, and I think that it's the most critically important thing, is to be inspired enough to actually want to make music, play music, or whatever art form it is that you're involved in. And that's why I enjoy playing with the synthesizer. This particular song started off with me just twiddling around, making some simple sounds, creating a little sequence and saying, that sounds okay. Let me just like record that and then try and add something else. And I added something else and something else, and that is how my song developed. And if I hadn't been sitting down at this GRP A4, then I wouldn't have made this song. It's as simple as that. So this whole kind of, you know, you have to justify why you're using equipment or why you own it in the first place it's a little bit wearing, it's a bit strange, it's a continual kind of feeling, an undertone that there is out there on social media. I think it's obviously a society thing. It's a oh, why have you got a nice car? Unless you're driving it to the max, then you shouldn't be bothering. You should get yourself on a bus or get a taxi instead. So what? So what? Some people have nice cars. Some people have nice instruments. I just don't understand this whole justification thing. Anyway, let's come back to my song. So as I said, it's a bit of a pop song, really, but it is a bit weird. It's a bit out there. It's a bit strange. It's a bit of an experiment, basically. This is what it sounds like. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a wonderful new year, a prosperous, happy, healthy, happy new year, and I'll see you with the next video. Thanks a lot.
There was once a time when I had no clue what to do. Then you came along and you made my world all brand new. All brand new. Gonna go now. I don't know if you'll be with me. Now that you are gone, there's a void inside deep below. How can I let go when I miss you more than you'll know? I don't know.